NANI?!
Welcome everybody to Warehouse Wilgus. We've got a new fantastic model kit, third party, to show you today. We're going to be looking at the Oberon Mecha Core Industry 1/100th scale model kit. And it is angelic, you might say. Major shout out to TORTILLAGORILLA, a good friend, amazing streamer, and
That is so gold. Oh my god.
fantastic customer. At the store, he offered to let me review the model kit that we are looking at today. So I have not built it, but I am excited to give you all my opinion and thoughts on the final product that is the Oberon. We'll talk articulation. We'll talk accessories. And I'll give you my main thoughts and feelings on the final product of the Oberon. So stay tuned and let's take a look at the Oberon Mecha Core Industries model kit. Let's talk accessories for the Oberon. One of the big things that will stand out is the big blaster that will come inside this model kit. I like how it does have the ammo drum that can also be moved from side to side, so that's really nice. There's no pull-out gimmick. I like the blue clear portion here. There is a attached hand, so that way you can peg it in from the front, as you can have here. But let's be honest, you can easily just leave this hand on here and not have to worry about losing it, since it's not really going to go anywhere else. Oh my god, how do you get in there? There is a quote-unquote bipod that can be here using the beam sabers, but I don't know if you'll even be able to articulate to use that, and it's already breaking with like the peg, so that's something that's a shame, because as you pull out the actual beam sabers, which is already a pain to get them out of these little C-clips, you would be able to attach the included beam saber effect, which isn't really that large comparative to the actual unit, which was a little disappointing. But when you get the big boy, now that's a nice saber effect. I love the blue, the translucent that's on there, splits out both ways, so you got that little guard. But alternatively, you do have these other cleavers, which is a set of 4, since you're going to have 2 on each wing. But I'm not a big fan of the beam saber effects on it being used as a bipod. If I had another T portion, that would be, oh, fantastic. But one other piece that I was really surprised on the shield itself that our TORTILLAGORILLA was able to get done was, while it does articulate a little peg to plug in, the gun itself for the shield doesn't even slide out. There's no articulation, there's no sliding. The panel lining work that he did, Tortilla, beautiful, with that gold panel lining right there, as well as the water slide decals. Oh my god, gorgeous. But the shield is pretty simple. I mean, it doesn't really do anything else. It plugs that in and goes pew pew. I'm not even sure if you might be able to plug in some blast effects in that tiny little portion. So that's tough. Now, for the backpack itself, very nice and simple. You have a sliding open portion here. That way you can get your base connection on the inside, which still feels kind of loose, to be honest with you, which I'm not sure how supportive I might feel on that, but it still will be able to slide in, so that way you can hide it, but it's still super loose. We have some hinge, and I want to say it's a peg right there for the wings. This way, if you wanted to get a little bit of some articulation there. There's a hinge out for the wing, and I guess this comes out to act as a support for it, I guess. I don't think I'll ever use that, but it's kind of nice that they added that in there. We do have another rotational portion that's going to let us hinge out at the top, rotate right there to hinge at the top, and peg into the wings themselves So that's going to be very nice as we start seeing how they will look on the unit. But talking about these big beefy boys, it's impressive because we not only have rotation right here, hinge right here, hinge, ball joint. Oh no, that's another peg. Sorry. I believe there is, let's see if I can get this out of the way. There we go. Once you start moving the full rest of the wings, the rest start opening up. So I really like that. As well as there's a hinge and hinge to be able to plug in the blades, as you saw, to add a little bit of some color and effect onto these wings. So that's pretty nice. And depending again on how you want to actually get it articulated, you can have it look very nice and fully open. So I have to say, very impressive and very nice. I like how it's not overly thick and it looks pretty good. Then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different pegs that will be able to hinge, hinge, and hinge to connect your 6 funnels, which weirdly enough look like funnel pens, or fountain pens I should say. You have a little bit of some articulation where the wings will be able to open to the side. You have some ball joint on the thrusters right there, and that's it for the articulation of the units for the funnels, which is nice. I like how I guess you can go ahead and plug them in to add to a bit of some uniqueness, style, and posing, but not really my jam because I don't understand like the funnel tip to look like a fountain tip. Very interesting, but weird. I like it. Weirdly, maybe? No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't like it. This is weird. I don't see this at all as like a blasty thing. It looks very imaginative, very fantasy-esque, which is cool if that's your jam. Then you have the base itself, which I don't know. You push that out to be able to hinge out where you need it to lock in. Then you hinge out so you can make it longer if you need to. And then on the base itself, you do have, are you able to? Yeah. Pull these out if you want to add a bit of some hinge on the base, but this will just be able to plug right in. It will not move once it's in there. Kudos again, Tortilla, for that gold panel lining. Ooh, gorgeous. And plugs right on out. So if you really didn't want it in there, you don't need to have it there. But overall, that's it for the accessories. And hand, oh sorry, that's a lie. We have a left closey hand, a left grippy blaster hand, and I'm assuming there should be a left hand that's all open for maybe 3 sets of hands for the unit as well. Articulation, we're going to jump all over the place on this thing first since it's all broken apart. We have a hinge that can go pretty much 90 degrees for the shoulder portion. Now, only problem though is while the arm will connect into the actual shoulder joint itself, which you'll just plug in on the peg, there's no rotation that you can really get for articulation on the arm because it's hindered by the little cut right here. So even if you are able to kind of get it there, it's maybe a 45 degree, which is tough to grab. But you have a 360 at the bicep, so that's nice. You have a, let's see if I can do it, a 1-2 hinge, which even then that's a crazy actually, for a full on 90 on the forearm, and then the bicep can go a full 92. So that's really nicely articulated. You have a bit of a hinge also on the wrist, which will be very careful when it's gold on gold like that, which is one of my biggest complaints about this model kit. Visually it looks gorgeous, but I do not, oh yeah, a hinge and a hinge on the shoulder portion. I just don't like how I don't want to move that ball joint unless I heat it up to try to get it moved. But that's articulation in the arms. In the body, the head itself cannot side to side. What is nice is there is a hinge for the ball joint, and it can still hinge forward and back a little. So you have a little bit of some forward movement on the ball joints for the neck, but it doesn't really help on how it's able to look down. Again, it's like that to that. Can't really even look that much higher. So it has some potential niceness of movement, but it's not really moving. The butterfly joint can kick out to the back and forward as we pull it out all the way, or making it rest on the inside. Pushing in on the shoulder there, lets it get on in. We do have a side to side at the base. You have a 1-2 movement for the hip and upper chest, which would still hide one other side to side movement on the upper. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 side to side, 1, 2, 3, 4 movements on the forward and back. And when we get to the legs, surprisingly enough, man, again, gorgeous tortilla gorilla. My gosh, man, like as much as I'm not a big fan of the unit, visually you made this look gorgeous and I love it. Now, let's start at the waist. So you have obviously some really nice ability to do the superhero pose. We're gonna have a 1 and 2 hinge at the knee with a 1-2 movement at the rear calf for some hinging on these thrusters, really nice. Ball joints on the ankles come on out very easily. The front skirt is on a peg, a ball joint, which can move up and down, weird, but I do not trust that peg at all. It can kick out fantastically. It's got a spread, and that's not bad. The problem is this golden hinge that's here in on the base. When you can just make it a floppy. Ugh, I don't like that. That's the one major not good point on this kit. Though there is some really nice thigh movement as you start getting the other pieces together. It can still kick out forward and back very nicely, just exceptionally loose. Ball joint on the skirts, with the rear being a single unit that can hinge on the back. That's pretty cool. But while these be able to kick out and backwards because of a peg on the ball joint, you can still technically make the front skirts a little higher if you needed to, again, clear some of that space, but I don't think you would. And one other very cool fun fact, or fun feature I noticed on the unit itself here for the articulation at the waist, if I can get to it, is that it can also still move forward with the rest of it. So even if you were having some interesting posing questions, you can get, not too bad, because his portion on the front skirt here is going to limit that articulation. But overall, visually, it's still a gorgeous looking kit. My only complaint is just that this plastic on plastic selection is not good for the friction joints that you'll be able to get. Maybe you'll be able to get it into some nice poses. Maybe you'll be able to get lucky and pick something up from it, which isn't bad. It's just I wouldn't expect it to hold that pose. But again, visually, man, I love that blue that they have on the white, the gold that they have on the armor. I'm so torn because visually I don't like, I mean, visually I do love it, but for the actual playability of it, it's just a loose mess, and I don't like that. But I will say I'm very happy my friend let me review his copy, so that is fantastic because I would not have wanted to have paid for this. But I'm happy to see that this is going to be looking nice on his stand. It's just, oh yeah, we have also side-to-side ankles forward moving on there as well. and the toe can go up and down. So that's cool. Not, again, bad on articulation, just weird selection for the gold. Maybe it would have been nice if there was a metal frame or something. But that's the Oberon. So final thoughts. What is it about the Oberon and my final opinions? Visually, it is a good example of what a model kit would be. Something that is great visually, but mechanically, I wouldn't want to play around with. This is not an action figure, and the articulation has suffered because of the gold-on-gold plastic and the friction issues in there. I got scared, one, because it's not even my kit, so I don't want to mess around with it too far much, and two, I've had some experience with some of this kind of plastic in the past, and it's just delicate. So, if you are looking for a visually amazing kit, this is going to be it. The panel lining that TORTILLAGORILLA did, which again, major shout out, because it's amazing. Whether it was the black or the gold that he put on there, the water slide decals were popping on this amazing looking kit. And again, visually amazing. I just don't like its articulation. And for my interests in the model kit world, that's a major look for. It's a quality that I am very focused on. So keep that in mind as you go around and shop and find your Oberon model kit. But thank you again, TORTILLAGORILLA. You're amazing. I am so happy that you let me get a chance to review this, and sorry it took so long, but I am happy to share with you all my thoughts on the amazing looking kit. We've got some other things to look forward to. Wow! So yes, I am very excited to still show off some more third-party model kits for us on the English reviewers, and anybody else that is exciting or looking forward to other types of model kits that we are going to be building, let me know down in the comments. Very excited that we are still doing our memberships for the YouTube channel. We are going to be looking forward to getting some funds for future model kits, as well as helping some kitty cats here at the house. So your help is appreciated all the time, and stay tuned for other ways that you can help the channel grow. But thank you again, everybody. I can't wait to see you at the next update. Yo tengo poder. Stay come for curiosity and stay for good times. I'll see you all at the next release.